Welcome back. Let's play some more 10-minute games here on Shogi Wars. Good luck. What to play. I still haven't gotten through... I got through the first chapter or two of Seigo Sato's Fourth Balrook book. It is fascinating. It brings up many theoretically important positions in that system. That said, I definitely am not playing this to the standard. Um, well, here we are once more. Somehow we keep getting thrust into this. Oh, that's cool. I've not seen this move before. I feel like I've messed up. We'll find out, though. I mean, how badly can I have messed this up, right? I'm not the one with this interesting castle. How bad can this be? I was too surprised by this. Um, Although, at this instant, it does shut down counterplay. I'm threatening to jump my knight. So they can't completely ignore what I'm doing. But this is a curious position. If you want to promote and take my silver and I get your knight, I think that's okay for me. This is a really cool castle. Um, but yeah, this is so risky. A single move could trigger who knows what. Like, if I push on this flank, what happens? I couldn't tell you. Actually, if I push and I pawn drop and lance takes and bishop drop, I win the lance. But then my bishop is often never land, but the king's right there. So if I lose my bishop, that's not the end of the world. And the only reason I'm looking for shots like this, or the reason I'm looking for shots like this, is because, like, my positions... yeah, there's a lot to be desired in this position. But if I try tricky stuff, this pawn hangs, the silver hangs, everything hangs, so I probably should just offer a rook exchange before doing anything too tricky. And then I could use my rook to attack, but what can a rook and a bishop do by themselves? That I don't know. If I forgot to wish the opponent good luck, I did mean good luck to them. Today's proverb, don't be afraid to sacrifice the rook or the bishop. How about the silver? Can we be afraid to sacrifice the silver? How does that work? Hmm. Um, Maybe there's a better rook drop somewhere. Heck if I know. Um, tactics are going to happen one way or another here. So I'm threatening to take this pawn. With a pawn, I could cut the rook. They might trap my rook. Anything can happen. I might sacrifice the silver. I don't know. Just to make the position fun. Oh, I guess if I take the pawn, I could threaten to drop it here. That's kind of big, because the king's right there. But winning a rook is also kind of big. But it's not my move. Bishop drop, bishop. Oh. Oh, bishop 4-9? That's kind of cool. And then I could take a gold general. Yeah. And then they take my gold. I don't know. I figured that's what they spent minutes looking at. Um, hmm. Like, at any time, the silver could go back and defend this. It seems risky. Um, oh, since I have rook drop 8-9. Something up here. I guess rook 7-9 or 6-9 or something. The knight's here on 8-9 if I'm probably not. Oh, 8-9 would be out here or something. Yeah, I don't know. I can still take this pawn and then trap. Oh, well, guess that's where we're going. Okay, then. I mean, yeah, I could win the knight and the silver, but the silver runs up. Hmm. This is still messy, though, because if they hit my bishop, and if I run, they can hit my bishop again, and then I'm exchanging a bishop for a rook. Um, so tactically, it's better to take two pieces for the bishop, but I'm only winning a silver, and I'm giving a tempo. And the tempo could be pretty important. Oh. That's a bit heavy, isn't it? Um, that looks more than a bit heavy. Alright, whatever. Oh, I just let the rook escape. I'm such a nice opponent. Although it might still be penned in. Like, where's it really going? No, I let it out. Whatever, we'll see where this ends up. If they push the pawn, I can silver drop. And then I could take the pawn. If they trap my bishop, or if they hit my bishop, I hit the rook. Which is a waste of time. Hmm. Well, Guess I'll take my pawn. Oh, they just take a gold here. I'm not good at counting. They're taking 3 pieces. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm terrible at counting. But who's counting? Not me. Um,
7分。
so this is the new Oniguma Castle, apparently. Yeah, this silver shouldn't be here. That silver's never gonna move again. Probably. They couldn't resist setting up the cheapo of trying to, like, fork my king and... Oh, no, I guess this knight threat isn't just a cheapo. It's not trivial to stop. Um, after knight takes, I am in a bit of trouble. But that's not what they did. So now the bishop has to abandon this diagonal with my king on it. Unless they double down with another bishop, but at some point they're being generous if they do stuff like that. Okay. I'll remove the attacker. And then this sucks. Wait, no. I mean, this position can't get worse. Hmm. Yeah, we're just going to attack. I could take a silver instead of... No, I want to have this square protected. Busting up my castle for nothing is ridiculous. Bishop drop here first, and then other moves could have been interesting. So, we got what I was aiming for. I should be embarrassed. Here we go. Um, Yay. Thanks for the game. So that's me winning on time, basically. 1 down, 2 to go. Don't be afraid to sacrifice the bishop or the rook. But also, if you do, like, your opponent gets a rook, and that might, hurt. Good luck. I forgot to check my audio. That's better. So let's get a moving. What am I doing? I'm giving up on Urashino attack because they're abandoning the corner. There. I have a narrative now. Not sure how far into this corner I should go, though. Have I just encouraged my opponent to build the one castle I really don't want to see? Probably. Alright, well... Okay, so they're probably not building Oniguma anymore. So, okay. I guess this blocks my rook from being able to go back to the third file here, but... Oh, I could have pushed this pawn. That would have been interesting. So now we're both going to play a whole bunch of waiting moves while one of us chickens out on this 5-5 square. Because I'm waiting to see if the rook's moving this way. That's not a waiting move. That is not a waiting move. Um, that doesn't make sense. I'll show you why in a second. 1,000. 2 1,000. 3 1,000. Okay, maybe I lied. Maybe it's going to take more than 1 second. This point's weak here. This knight is weak here. I got a tactic. Would you look at that? Now, this isn't my opponent's first walk in the park. Surely there's some surprise plan that I've missed. But this looks okay. Like, my prediction is that they defend the knight and these pawns, and then I have to come up with something more. They don't defend. Why defend when you can attack? Okay. Well, two can play this game. If rook up, pawn up, maybe? Do I take the knight? Do I drop a bishop? Do I drop the bishop here? Taking the pawn and promoting it looks pretty nice. Okay, let's do that. What an adventure. This square is like... They say with a token on 5-3, I forget what the proverb is, but it's winning. Um, there's a special wording to the proverb. Oh, okay, they're going to cut. Well, they might drop in front of my rook, but then we exchange rooks. And then I get token 5-3 anyway. Yeah. If the rook runs away, I could move up my rook and then just promote. Like, look, well, they have a silver they can drop. It's not over yet. Today's proverb, don't be afraid to sacrifice the bishop or the rook. Although if they end up doing silver drop after retreating this, I can just sidestep the rook. I don't need to sacrifice it. And then the silver's trapped. That's possible. Oh, but then my pawn hangs. So actually I do want to sacrifice the rook. I don't need the rook. Imagine that. Just push that. We drop another pawn, and we push that. We drop another pawn, and like the opponent has no pawn in hand, so this is a bit rough. I didn't even need the knight to join. Yeah, this looks pretty rough for Gota. These openings where you have a bishop in hand are pretty difficult, at least for me, because I can never figure out where to drop the bishop. But seeing the bishop where it is, I'm not afraid of it. So I've played Mino Castle, which is resistant to attacks from the side. They're about to get my rook, which is a piece that attacks from the side. So what am I afraid of? Also, I can take the gold and probably mate them, like, instantly, but yeah. Details, details. The rook might be scarier if it were aligned with my king here. And if they could somehow break up my castle and force me to, like, separate the silver, and then this is hanging. Or if they had some sack down here and somehow, like, the rook could crash through here. This is just slightly too slow. This castle here, which I think was intended to be twin gold castle, got delayed by this knight jump. So I'm threatening mate in one. They defend. Okay. I don't actually know how to checkmate. That might be good to know. Well, we'll figure it out. Um, Bishop drop. If we end up sacking here, we can take that.
7分。
It's not good enough. Does bishop drop trap the rook? No. Bishop here loses the bishop. This point is weak. I could gold drop to hit this point a second time. Seems to be my best way to reinforce an attack on this point. Um, Bishop, gold drop. Takes. Unfortunately, that's not promoted. So gold drop here instead. King runs. I've let the king escape. That's no good. How do you do this? There is an art to this. I have yet to master and or learn that art. I mean, I could sidestep the silver, and I just have a good position. It's called the art of enjoying shogi. Yeah, I just go here, and at my leisure, I win the bishop and the king. That's the answer. That's an answer. Not saying it's the answer, but it seems good enough.
5分。
If pawn takes, knight takes, then I can jump the knight here, and if knights exchange, I'm hitting this point. Okay, that didn't happen. Um... Wait, I could win this silver too, but I don't need it. Everything is hanging. Everything is hanging. So yeah, 1, 2, 3 is the shot. Somehow I didn't see that coming. That must be especially dense. Or maybe I have some resource here. Um, okay, we'll try this. This looks interesting. This forks the rook, the pawn, and guards the 5-5 square. So I can cut this diagonal and then chase the bishop. Also, I can use this bishop to hit this point soon. Also, maybe I've trapped the rook? Yeah, I trapped the rook. Yay me. Um, okay, so I offer my silver for a bishop. I would drop the rook, except I instantly lose it. So I'll do this instead. That's a fork. I guess a silver drop could defend both participants in this fork, but that's one fewer attacking piece if they do that.
$3分
Okay, I think I just take the knight. And then I just walk my king up the board and declare victory. Unless I get mated on my way up the board, which would be kind of sad. Yeah, I see now they can drop a gold here and a silver there, and that is actually mate. So I'll need to defend against this somehow. Also, I have a mate over here threat. I'm really playing with fire. Pushing this pawn
2
seems to
分30秒
Wait, do I need to escape? Maybe. Probably. We'll defend some squares. Yeah, how can I make this more dramatic? Bishop drop, um,
2
silver,
分
pawn silver is mate. So I think I have to push this. Hmm.
1分30秒。
I thought I'd be able to use my dragon to attack. Am I right?
1分
I'm not sure. Probably not.
30秒。20秒。10秒。
Sorry. Thanks for the game. 2 down, 1 to go. I need to learn how to checkmate. Someday. Welcome. Don't be afraid to sacrifice the rook and the bishop. Good luck. Um, oh, the bishop sacrifice at the end? It's probably mate in 35. Come on. But, no. So, um, yeah. Someday I will properly learn this. Oh, like if I keep rereading Seigo Sato's book, maybe at some point I might understand this opening. I can't blame him for my faulty understanding. Because his explanations aren't quite thorough. I just haven't gotten through all the pages of the books yet. Or all the chapters. So there's stuff I have yet to see. This is a good space for bishop, right? Surely this is fine. Hey, you could write an American book. American Shogi 101. Uh, I did apologize for it. Like, what do you want me to do? This pawn move is curious. At least as far as I can discern. Like, why would you build this shape and then push this pawn? It just weakens the shape. Now watch as I do something equally dumb. Um, at least give me time to make my mistake first. Moderately tempted to move out my bishop. Now I'm less tempted to move it. But moving and sacking here looked kind of fun. But surely I have something better. They say don't do this, but I'm doing it. I pushed the center pawn. But I'm Fugures, so that's my excuse. I really don't want to build Silver Crown here. It's just not the right castle to defend against the rook. What I've not decided is if I'm going to try to open this diagonal right away with this pawn push. With a pawn in hand, I can force this knight to move again. Yeah, I'm perplexed. Also, I could have just pushed the edge pawn, which is probably 1,000 times safer than what I just did. Um, but that's not what I did. Yay, I promoted. I sacrificed my bishop. Proverb told me to do it. We're gonna blame this book of Proverbs for all my mistakes. But this looks okay, right? I go back and I take the silver and I'm promoting my rook, and like, what's not good about this? If they play rook 5-5, pawn drop wins the rook. I could also pawn drop, promote, and back down. Or even over here. Now that's interesting. Rook back, pawn drop, gold takes, rook takes, I promote. Like, even that looks nice. This looks too good. What have I missed? Pawn drop, pawn drop. Okay. That is a bit chilling. Um, what else have I missed? Like, this weakness is always going to be there. Oh, okay. That explains why I'm so confused. Yeah.
7分、
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. Um, do I go down again? Like, why not? Other than the silvers, like, there's better things to win in this game than a silver, but winning a silver is not bad. If I could, like, move up my knight and start breaking this castle. If I move the knight, they just take my piece. Hang on. I have to read tactics once in a while. Um, pawn drop, pawn drop, pawn drop. Yeah, this is weird. Pawn drop somewhere out here. All right, screw it. Let's go. So I'm going to drop here next and then just start promoting everything. I can take this too. I guess they have a pawn in hand. Um, I've got a pawn chain, guys. I just had to give up my bishop. And something. I guess my soul. Maybe I've given up my soul here.
5分、
Oh, I gave up this pawn. Why did I do that? I didn't need... There's an unforced error on my part. Where's the fork? Let's just go back. Some threatening pawn drop, which wins a silver. Also threatening pawn drop up here, which is... Well, I'd like it to be of greater consequence, but it's not. My opponent's setting up tactics. Tactics are tricky. I'm keeping this shape. My opponent really wants a bishop on this square. That's what I'm hearing here. Or they want to promote their rook. Wow, am I really gonna do this? Okay then. I'm eventually going to give away my rook for not very much. Other than an enormous initiative. But not much material. So many tactics. So many tactics. Jeez. How the...
3分、
I thought they wanted my rook. I was convinced that they wanted my rook.
2分30秒、
I shut down their bishop. They're eventually going to just sacrifice something and like get my rook in a pin or a fork or something. But I want their king. If they give me time, I'll promote my rook and go after their king with the rook. Okay. I don't have enough material to be able to take both colts for the rook. I need more, which means I need to run away again.
2分、
Okay, we're gonna duck and cover here and pray that, like, whatever I get out of this is gonna be good enough. Oh, actually, if they silver drop, I just retreat again? Huh. This is most bizarre. If I take the bishop and the gold,
1分30秒、
they can take back. I want both gold generals for my rook. I'm not getting that, am I? Whatever. I'm bad at tactics.
1分、
Okay, if they want my rook, they're going to have to sacrifice to get it. They could just pawn drop in front of it, but they don't. How dead am I here? I have no idea. Uh,
30秒、
I have no time. Would you look at that?
20秒、10秒、
I cannot click to save my life. Whatever. I feel ashamed of it anyway. Thanks for the game. That's 3 games. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.